Don says, greetings, Dutch and James. Growing up in the 80s with the old territory system made for some great entertainment. Vince McMahon takes a lot of heat for killing the territories. But how much longer do you think the territories could have lasted with cable taking over? And do you think that Vince McMahon and the WWF extended the life of professional wrestling by making it mainstream and more palatable for the general public, thus saving the wrestling business from itself? If he didn't do it, would it have been done by somebody else? Thanks. It's a very interesting question. That
is an interesting question. Would it have if Vince hadn't done it? I think somebody else would have had the idea. I don't think they would have been successful. Like Vince.
They already tried, though. I mean, the AWA at one point tried it. I think Ole Anderson and Georgia Wrestling had tried it because they were on cable first, of course. You know, there were attempts before Vince.
But they only went cable because Vince went cable first.
That's not true.
Vince went cable again, and so they said, "Well, we got to fight him. We'll go out here and we'll go cable over here or over there."
No, because Georgia Championship Wrestling was on cable before Vince, and Joe Blanchard was as well on USA Network.
Okay, I got it, but I don't think it would have changed the future of wrestling. Because Vince had a different way of presenting it. He had the music, he had the lights, he had they were presented as stars. It's hard to bring a studio show in from San Antonio and have him compete with the Madison Square Garden crowd. It was just the way it was presented, and it looked big time. It looked Hollywood, or it looked New York. And wrestling, we have tried to kill it ourselves ever since I've been in it. 60 or 70 years. Well, I hadn't been in that long, but we've been trying to kill this business for at least 60 years. It's not dead yet. But Vince brought a different presentation, and the guys looked better, and the TV looked clearer, and the announcers were better, and just everything was better about it. So read the rest of that question, and how much would it be?
No, that was basically it. I mean, did Vince McMahon actually save the wrestling business? Because the wrestling business, if nobody had taken it national, would have remained regional and basically died out.
I think he did. I think he did a lot for wrestling that he doesn't get credit for. But yeah, I think he did kind of save the wrestling business in a way. But who knows what would have happened. But I don't think the business would have been as big as it is today without Vince.
Okay, so with the territory specifically, how much blame does Vince deserve? Because you said before, and it's very true, that on previous episodes, how you can't go back on the farm once you've seen Broadway, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But he put on a better product, a more not even just glossier, big time, better production, way better production than anything that had come before it. But Vince also did raid a lot of talent as well. I mean, a great example is the AWA with Hulk Hogan, Dr. D, Mean Gene, Bobby Heenan. There was wherever Roddy Piper from Portland, wherever he was, on Mid-Atlantic, I don't know.
And look at Bill Watts' territory.
Junkyard Dog. I mean, they never recovered after Junkyard Dog left.
And Ted DiBiase, Jake Roberts,
Jim Duggan after as well.
Yeah, he took them all. Yeah. So, but what they couldn't do when you gut a territory, it's like gutting a football team. If you take the quarterback and the leading, receiver, and two great linebackers, well, that's what propelled the team. If you take that away, you're gonna get scored on, and you're not gonna win. He took everybody who was anybody. That's what he took. So all of a sudden, say you're a fan down and you're watching the Mid-South show, and you're sitting down there in Louisiana somewhere, and all of a sudden uh, Junkyard Dog's not there. The show's not the same because Junkyard Dog was a staple on the show. Or Jake the Snake, Ted DiBiase, Dr. Death. He took them all. And if they're not there, that's why you watch the show. And if they're not there, now they're trying to get you interested in other people whose background and resume didn't match up to anywhere close to these guys. Well, you're not going to watch it anymore. But all of a sudden they pop up on his TV and he said, oh, now I know where they went. That's why you start watching him. And he like Dusty from Florida, took them all. And like you said, he took from AWA and he took all those guys, and Patterson from San Francisco. And they were the same thing. Say in San Francisco, it had its local wrestlers. But when you took them and they show up on WWE, that's where they went. So now, quite naturally, if you're a wrestling fan or a fan of that wrestler, you're going to start watching that.
Do you think that when someone had a run on WWF television for a couple of years and basically they were let go, they were fired for whatever reason, it almost seemed like when they were fired, it completely ruined their value anywhere else afterwards? So, I mean, you can name any number of people from Honky Tonk Man, even Don Morocco, and he was like in the best shape of his life and everything. But as soon as he left WWF, he bounced around a bit and then just retired.
Yeah,
and there's other people like that. So it's like WWF. George the Animal Steel said it best. The WWF machine, the television, eats you up, and it will eat you up until there is nothing left, and then they will get rid of. They'll put a bullet in your head, and it ruined in a weird way. It ruined a lot of careers as well as ruining the territories from where they were raided from initially. Well,
I see what you're saying, and I'm going to agree. Because I've seen a lot of guys leave WWF and go to a local territory. And it's like almost they weren't even over, even to the local crowd who's watched this guy, because he's not wrestling the same guys. And it looks like it's sad to see it. Let me say that. If I'm a fan and I'm watching Jake the Snake, and all of a sudden he appears on a local card and 200 people there, 250. But I've been used to seeing him in Madison Square Garden and these big shows. All of a sudden he's let go of a WWE and now he's here. Well, that's not a success story. And the people, they don't feel good even watching it. So they just stay away from it. I don't blame them.